Hi, and welcome back to That's Entertainment, the weekly entertainment show where we look at all the interesting news from last week, and this week, it's our 100th episode. Welcome back. It's great to be able to report on another positive weekend for cinema with Marvel's latest Thor Love and Thunder, strong debut in key territories around the world. As Deadline Hollywood reported, landing within projections, Disney Marvel's fourth Thor movie grossed $159 million in over 47 markets overseas to hit a $302 million global start. This gives the film the number 2 debut of 2022 behind the stablemate Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Perhaps even more encouraging than those impressive numbers is the breadth of the film's appeal, at least in the US. Again, according to the Deadline Hollywood, compared to Thor Ragnarok, Thor Love and Thunder pulled in a more diverse crowd with more Hispanic, Latino, and Asian audiences. It's also interesting to see just how mainstream the superhero genre has become. Although Thor will no doubt appeal to children and family audiences, Deadline Hollywood picked up on the facts that the US moviegoing audience of the 18 to 34 demo repped 53% of Thor 4's weekend audience, with 9% parents and 5% kids under 12. Once again, the 18 to 34-year-olds showed the appeal of the premium cinema-going experience. PLF screens overall contributed 36% to Thor 4's weekend. That includes IMAX, premium large-format brands, 3D, and motion auditoriums. North America's 412 IMAX screens drove $13.8 million worth of Thor's opening weekend, or close to 10%. And IMAX auditoriums took in $23 million for Thor around the globe, or 7.6% of the film's worldwide opening. As IMAX CEO Rich Gelfond put in the press release, there's no question that everyone's going back to the movies now, with blockbusters like Thor Love and Thunder anchoring a slate that's bringing a diverse mix of audiences, young and old, frequent and casual, out to the cinema. And it wasn't just IMAX who were celebrating this weekend's box office numbers, as reported in another press release. Thursday, July the 7th through Sunday, July 10th was AMC Theatre's highest attended weekend in 2022. In the United States and globally, with approximately more than 5.9 million moviegoers. Encouragingly, as the AMC press release pointed out, led by the opening weekend of Thor Love and Thunder, the box office was propelled by several summer blockbuster titles, many of which have contributed to perform well for several weeks. For example, Minions: The Rise of Gru, the CGI sequel, may have dropped significantly over its second weekend on release, but it has nevertheless now taken a very impressive $400 million globally, showing that the family audiences are more than willing to make the trip to their local multiplex if the movies appeal. Which it seems wasn't the case with Disney Pixar's Lightyear. The question that Disney Marvel now will be asking is just how well Thor 4 is likely to hold up over the next few weeks. There is a strong speculation that the film, which actually opened to less than Marvel's last cinematic outing, will see audience numbers decline steeply around the globe, a position that won't be helped by the film being highly unlikely to get a release in Chinese cinemas, as the Hollywood Reporter noted. The Taika Waititi-directed superhero film could become the 7th consecutive Marvel tentpole to be blocked from release by China's regulators. Sources of 2 major cinema chains in China tell the Hollywood Reporter that they expect Thor 4 will face the same fate as Disney's Pixar Lightyear movie. Denied censorship approval because of the fleeting moments in the movie involving LGBTQ characters. Early indicators are that the film has not gone down as well with cinemagoers as its predecessors, which could impact word-of-mouth recommendations and future audience numbers, as Variety reported. Critics and audience members did not like Thor Love and Thunder as much as they adored the off-kilter Thor Ragnarok. The newest installment has a 68% on Rotten Tomatoes and a B+ cinema score. By comparison, Ragnarok landed a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes and an A- on CinemaScore. Deadline Hollywood put those ratings into context. When it comes to the box office legs for an MCU movie, those A cinema scores do make a difference. Spider-Man No Way Home with an A+ cinema score saw a 3.1 multiple off its $260 million 3-day opening, landing it at the domestic final of nearly $804 million. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which had an A, generated near 3 times multiple of its $75.3 million 3-day opening. However, Eternals, with a B cinema score, posted a 2.3 multiple, and while Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, with its B+ rating, saw a 2.19 multiple off its $187.4 million opening. Can Thor Love and Thunder defeat the odds? IndieWire also offered an analysis of Thor 4's likely box office future. 143 million for a US opening weekend after the 2 horrible years theatres have endured remains a huge number. It's $16 million more than Maverick did initially, but it is not irrelevant that the fourth Thor opened $44 million less than Doctor Strange 2 months ago. Previous Thor titles have all done at least 2.5 times their opening weekends for their entire runs. Can it pull this off? Likely not. There are already some signs it might not. Its first Saturday was down 39% from the Thursday-Friday total. Strange was down 36%. That sounds like a margin of error difference, but grosses usually follow patterns that even if minor at first tend to increase over the run of a film. Have you seen the film yet? What do you think? Is it good enough, particularly as the next action movie Bullet Train with Brad Pitt doesn't open until early August? Will you be recommending that family and friends invest the time and expense in seeing Thor Love and Thunder on the big screen, or should they wait for it to drop on Disney Plus in a couple of months? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. That's all for this week. Remember, we publish this show both to LinkedIn and YouTube. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to the shows in the various socials below. Look forward to hearing your feedback. That's all for this week. Thanks very much.